In the wake of the deadly shooting incident in California that claimed 10 lives, U.S. President Joe Biden has ordered United States flags to be lowered to honor the victims. Other 10 people have been injured when a gunman opened fire in a dance studio in Monterey Park, California on Saturday night. Hours after launching a manhunt, police say the suspect was found dead. Reports say the suspect, identified as 72-year-old Hu Cantran, died possibly of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The suspect was found dead inside the white cargo van about 30 miles from where the massacre occurred. The suspected gunman has been linked to a second shooting as well. These developments came as the Sheriff's Department released surveillance image of the homicide suspects. Police poster said he was wearing a beanie cap and glasses. Motive of the attack has not yet been ascertained.
Everything's on the table. We don't know if this is specifically a hate crime defined by law, but who walks into a dance hall and guns down 20 people? The description we have now is of a male Asian. Does that matter? I don't know. I can tell you that
The California town, barely 10 kilometers from LA, was hosting the Monterey Park Lunar New Year festival this weekend, marking the beginning of the Chinese lunar calendar. The annual two-day street festival is widely attended, with previous celebrations drawing as many as 100,000 daily visitors. U.S. Census Bureau says more than 65% of about 60,000 residents of Monterey Park identify as Asian American. The Sheriff's Department said that the shooting erupted around 10:22 p.m., less than a block from where the festival was being held. The gunman opened fire shortly after entering a dance hall where people had been celebrating. Meanwhile, police in the nearby city of Alhambra also are investigating an incident that occurred at a dance studio exactly 17 minutes after the Monterey Park shooting. An Asian man entered the dance studio with a gun. Several people, were wrestled with the weapon away from him before he fled the scene. The LA County Sheriff later confirmed that the investigators believe both scenes overnight are connected to the same suspect. For more on this, we're now being joined by Ray Locker from Utah, United States. Ray is an author and a journalist. Thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast.
Thanks for having me.
Another shooting incident, in fact, two here. It's suspected that these two were connected. What can you tell us?
Well, it looks like the shooter, Hu Cantran, 72-year-old man from Hemet, California, went to the dance studio in Monterey Park, shot at least 20 people, then went to the nearby town of Alhambra, tried to shoot more people, had the gun wrestled away from him, and then he disappeared, ended up like 30 miles away in Torrance, which is another predominantly Asian American community in greater Los Angeles. Nobody knows why he was there. We'll probably find out more later. And then he either killed him, I assume he killed himself. Why he couldn't have killed himself before he killed a bunch of other people, nobody knows for sure.
Right, absolutely. And do you think the timing and the day that the shooting occurred is of significance here?
Well, I don't really know. I don't want to speculate because I don't have enough information. I mean, we've had so many anti-Asian hate crimes over the last 3 years since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic that you automatically assume that there's some kind of anti-Asian dynamic involved because it's been what's been happening a lot lately. But doesn't seem to be the motive in this case. I've seen some speculation it had something to do with domestic violence. Maybe so. A lot of domestic violence incidents involve handguns. It could have spiraled out of control after that, and he decided to take his frustrations out on a bunch of innocent people, and he was assisted with an assault weapon, which is a problem we have in this country on multiple occasions.
Right, absolutely. In fact, I was just going to come to that. There's a larger issue here. Gun violence remains rampant in the United States. Can we expect any reforms to rein in the threat of such shootings?
You know, I doubt it. Every time there's a mass shooting with some kind of dangerous weapon, there is a call from most people to do something about it. I think most people realize that the proliferation of assault weapons in this country is a huge problem. Yet you have a gun lobby that has at least one political party captive, and people won't do anything about it. There's always an excuse why it's not really the cause of this shooting. Clearly, you would not be able to kill so many people if you did not have a weapon like that. And these weapons are not used for anything other than killing people. They're not hunting weapons. And when we had a ban on assault weapons, we didn't have these kind of shootings. So clearly, when you have a lot of these guns, you have more mass violence.
Absolutely, Mr. Ray Locker. Thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast with all your insights on this.
Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.